yes, it is Editor Maya. I didn't think you'd be seeing me this soon in the video, did you? But I did not film a very important part of this vlog, and to be able to explain it, I think I need to come in with a small recreation of what happened. This week, as you can probably tell, I was doing a whole lot of sewing, and I got very caught up, but in the midst of my sewing journey, I got an offer that was too good to refuse. My close friend James was like, hey, do you want to come to Osaka? Like, I'll pay for your Shinkansen, like, do you want to come? And so me, wanting to see as much of Japan as I possibly can, of course, agreed. So I went and packed everything that I could frantically as possible for Osaka, because I've never actually been before, and we were gonna go to Nara. So taking the Shinkansen was actually really easy. I decided to buy my tickets online ahead of time just because I wasn't really familiar with the way that you buy tickets at the station, but just so you know, you can actually do that really easily. While we were in Osaka, we stayed at the W Hotel, which I absolutely love. I've only stayed in the W once before, and that was for my 21st birthday back in the pandemic time. So being able to stay here again with James was really nice. I especially love the buffet breakfast. Oh my gosh, I wish I could live in a hotel every day sometimes just so I could have the buffet breakfast. I made sure to eat so much fruit while we were there because I feel like it's such a rarity. Normally in my groceries it's so expensive to get fruit here in Japan. I honestly really like deer, and while I was in Japan last year I actually missed out on getting to visit Nara Deer Park, which is really close. Well, I thought it was close to Osaka, but it's actually like a 50-minute train ride, so it's kind of a mission to get out there. And even though it's like peak summer season right now, there are so many tourists in Osaka. I was really surprised by how many deer there were and how chill they are with like people, but it also makes me wonder, they are literally not enclosed. They are like wandering all over the street wherever you want. There are deer, they're just roaming free.
Do a bow. No. There's another one coming up behind you. You gotta commit to the bow. Do a proper bow. You can do a bow. You didn't do it properly. Do it.
Yeah, it's like whatever.
You gotta bow. Bow. Yum 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 yum. Oh, he took the whole thing. So beautiful though.
Whoa.
Okay, now. Yep.
You want? Of course I got from Dad. Nice. Yeah.
Yes, I'm back again because I did not film another thing. I was way too scared because we went to a really fancy Italian restaurant in like the St. Regis Hotel. It was like one of those places with like the cloth napkins and like the different dessert knife, fork, spoon places, which I'm gonna be honest, I do not have a lot of experience going to these kinds of places, so I was really scared to film. We had really fancy wine and fancy food, and it was amazing, and I loved it, but it felt a bit like a dream. Like, not really real. I couldn't like process that what was really happening, so I didn't film anything. I'm really sorry. And don't worry though, I warmed up to it, I got into it, and the next time we went out for a fancy dinner, I made sure to film everything that I ate.
That was last night, because I heard like they.
So our time in Osaka was sadly over. At least that's what we thought. We had plans that night to go back to Tokyo, but unfortunately the Shinkansen were actually all down. They were down. They were not running, which never happens in Japan. The Shinkansen had a accident. Luckily, oh my god. Luckily, nobody was seriously injured or killed in the accident. It was just two maintenance trains that collided on a track somewhere between Nagoya and Tokyo. So all of the Shinkansen were not running. We quickly jumped in a taxi to the airport to try and get on a flight, but without us knowing, the airport was actually like an hour away by taxi, and all the flights turned out to be sold out because of course they are, because everybody's trying to get out. So what we ended up doing was booking the flights for the next day. James accidentally bought flights for August, so that was a bit of a mess around, but we ended up getting flights for the next day, which meant we got extra time to explore Osaka. So we made our way back and stayed in a different hotel this time. We stayed in St. Regis Hotel, which was really nice. It was kind of funny because the butler, because they have a butler at this hotel, started calling me James's last name, like Mrs. last name, which was kind of funny, even though I'm definitely not.
I think it's Doot. And that's Doot.
Which one?
Doot.
Yeah, it's your Doot.
That's my Doot.
So honestly, it was kind of a blessing in disguise that we got a little bit extra time to explore Osaka. We ended up just walking around the street and exploring some of the streets that called out most to us. We didn't actually end up going to Dosonbori, unfortunately, which just means that we'll have to go back to Osaka another time to explore it fully. We did end up going out for another really fancy dinner, and this time it was a sushi chef place, which again, I was too scared to film. Guys, these places intimidate me. They are way too fancy for me, and these places have like staff that watch you the entire time, of course, because it's good service, right? But I'm just not used to it, okay? And I feel like I don't want to break the rules or offend anyone, especially in a Japanese setting where I feel like I don't understand all of the cultural differences and norms that maybe I might not be doing, and I really just don't want to offend anyone. And this absolutely beautiful meal that we had at 𝐬𝐨𝐽, which is a mix of French and Japanese fusion culture, I think. It was absolutely beautiful food. I really enjoyed it. The server that we had complimented me on how much bread I ate, and he said that he gave me French citizenship, and we bonded over that. But man, the bread was actually so good. I really liked it. Eating bread and butter always makes me think of my family back in Austria, because it's such a classic dinner that we always would have. And I do feel like I have to tell you guys that I did not pay for this. Like, I was being treated to all of this experience. There is no way that I usually would spend this much money on food and outings and things like that. I'm really usually very frugal, as you guys have probably seen from my earlier vlogs living in Japan, so getting to experience this kind of lifestyle was only made possible because of their generosity. So I'm insanely grateful to have them in my life, because it means that I get to do crazy things like this. And whilst part of me feels like such an imposter and really awkward and feels like I'm cosplaying being wealthy, it also shows me that like if I work hard, this kind of a lifestyle might just be possible for me. So it's incredibly motivating to be able to spend time with people of that mentality, just because I've not really been exposed to that much as a kid. I got to go to the Miffy Café with one of my close friends as well, which is really exciting. I got myself some new beauty things as well. I didn't know that sheet masks in Japan were so cheap. I'm gonna start doing them from now on. And while I was going out to get some groceries, I could hear some drumming from my house, so I wanted to go to my local shrine just to see what was happening down there. And it turns out there was a whole drumming festival happening where they had live samurai doing kind of like fighting scenes. I'm sorry if that's not samurai, but I'm not sure what the sword fighting is called, but it was a really amazing amazing choreographed experience to some live music that they had.
Oh, I mean, I'm entertained.
And they had a bunch of lanterns on display that the local school had painted, so we got to walk around and see all these cute little paintings that some kids had done. Some of them were a lot better than others, some of them were really cute, some of them made me kind of sad to look at, but it was a really lovely evening. I ended up bumping into a bunch of my share housemates as well who happened to be at the festival as well. And I really hope that I get to experience more summer festivals while I'm here. It is kind of a mission to deal with the heat and the amount of people that come out to celebrate. It can be really overstimulating. And while I was there, I also got myself a lucky stamp, which is meant to be good for bringing in more work. I can say that it's been around 2 weeks since I got this and no new work offers have come in, but thank you so much for watching this week's video. I hope you guys enjoyed and I'll catch you guys next week. Bye!